Hey, good evening, everyone. Let's talk family tonight. Not a special night. I'll say that tonight is a different night. It's not um a night where we're really would say it's a show, but I guess it is a show because I have an opportunity tonight to actually what we're doing is we're reintroducing the co-host of the Poetry Corner, and the Poetry Corner platform is a whole, and it's not just a show; it's also a Facebook group as well, and it's a sort of a rebranding and a recommitment, or just to let everybody know really what the Poetry Corner is about. So I have both of the hosts on tonight. The author extraordinaire King Atterbury. When he has his alter ego, he's Lord Atterbury, and we have Dweena. Um, they
What's
also
up,
are
everybody?
part of two of the three of the king team, which Dweena is not a king; she's a queen. So you know,
Right.
this show is basically to introduce them to back to, like I said, the Let's Talk family and the Poetry Corner family, and let everybody know who they are, what's going on, and what their intentions is to do at the Poetry Corner. I'll first by saying, Dweena, introduce yourself. I know a lot of people know you. You've been on the show numerous times. I interviewed you for your first book, and you know, I know that Maya Angelou was a big inspiration on your life and your
Oh,
career and your
absolutely.
poetry. Let
Definitely.
everybody know who you are.
Okay. Well, I am Edwina Simmons, also known as Zwina, still Zwina, or Queen Simmons is one of my alter personalities here in the poetry world as well. And I am now, as Quinn said, part of the King team. I am co-host here at the Poetry Corner and co-host with King on our radio show as well on the Epiphany Radio uh, universe. Um, I am, I can say, an aspiring poet. I still think that I'm growing into who I'm supposed to be as a poet, and I'm still learning a lot more about myself, but and how to navigate in this world. But yeah, I'm an author. I wrote my first book, Zwina Still, came
Hmm.
out in 2021. June 19th, it was released, and it's going to be re released this year and on June 19th as well. And I also have another book that's coming out called Circles for Squares, and that's still to come. More of that is to come. But yeah, it's a little bit about me.
Circles for Squares.
Yes.
I like that name. That's an interesting name.
Thank you. Thank
Is
you.
there something to the name?
Yeah, it's just what it's, it's like, I've always found myself to be kind of square, like you know, a little in the
A
in
little
my
different.
yes, a little weird, a little odd,
You know,
and
sometimes the odd people are
mhm,
are a little different. Steve Jobs had a big commercial back in the when he was alive, right before he died a couple years. It was called The Crazy Ones,
mm,
and it was the outliers, basically like Malcolm Gladwell. If you ever read his book,
mhm,
the outliers to the common thought, the common energy.
mhm,
You have to be so different sometime as a creator.
right,
Being an artist like yourself, you have to be so different than everybody else because your mind is not thinking like everybody else's.
exactly,
This is why poetry, I believe, you guys being poets and me having a front row seat at the table every week, you kind of see that the mind of a poet has to be always thinking, has to be, as the brain is always churning. So
right,
I won't consider you a square. I just consider somebody that's always thinking.
well,
Your brain is always processing on the next thing.
yes, but yes, I believe that's true, but when I came up with the title, and as I've said it, like is something, it's a hashtag I often use on like Facebook when I'm saying something. It's about the people, the company that you keep, and how you either become it or it becomes you. And like I said, I'm perfectly comfortable with considering myself to be like the square one in my friend circle, or the one who is, different. I don't always see things the way that they, growing up, I always felt like the eyeball out. But as I've grown, I found that there are different circles where you belong, and there's ones that you don't, even if you're square. So it's like circles for squares. How do you find your circle in this world? Being however square you decide you want to be. I know that some people might have different connotations on what it's meant to be square, but what I meant is like, it's the thing that I've always said to my kids growing up, and that's that weirdos run the world, which is the truth. The weirdest, what you cannot be of the common thought and be of the thought that's going to be, out in front. You can't think like everybody else and be a front runner at the same time. You have to be a little different, I think. That's the idea behind
Hey
it.
Jonathan, if you're still watching, the email is on the bottom of the screen. It's ltalk5600 at gmail.com. Just email me your information and we'll try to get hook you up with King Atterbury and get you on the Poetry Corner show so you could join the poets with your I know you're out of the country, so you and King will have to set something up.
Oh, that's
Now, King,
What's up? What's up?
what number book is the next book coming out, man?
Well, actually, I'm coming out with a double banger. I'm releasing two books at once. The first one is Peace and Power and Love Part Two, Little Joe's Son, and at the same time, it's going to be The Man Behind the Hands Part Two, Gifted. I mean, so those should be dropping around May. I mean, so it's a process right now. It's a process. I'm still taking in the energy from last year's business. That was a big bubble that I grew into the air. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's been a rough ride and whatnot. But you know, give people a little history. When I came out with this book, um, Eight is Enough. It's,
Mm-hmm.
it's on Amazon. Uh, Eight is Enough. Things was already manifesting the way it was. This was like in July of 2020. You know, so that Eight is Enough has the first 8 books that I published. I published 16 books. So that's the first 8. That's a compilation book. Well, a collection sample. So you can cop that, Joel Washington Atterbury, on Amazon. So after that energy started taking place, then me and you connected. When we started the Poetry Corner show, which has really bubbled into something something outrageous. You know what I'm saying? Exciting, enticing. I mean, for real, you come through, you meet all these different poets coming on there. Everybody have a different style, a different flow, but it was great. And so that's what marveled me into creating the Poetry Corner book. You
Mm-hmm.
know, this book right here also available. All books are available on Amazon, and I keep my wheels turning. And like Adwina said, you get creative. You know what I'm saying? It's like circling squares or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm one of those dudes that kind of stay to myself as a loner type thing, and I be in my own wave. Through meditating and praying all the time and stuff, and manifesting and speaking to the universe can get you a lot of places. And that's what had me form this book, which is the compilation book, which I call the bonus book, by me, Sharita Simmons, and Whitney Wells. Um, I also have my cousins do my artwork. I mean, when they have something available, I jump on it. So that's what that book ended 2020's business. The Poetry Corner, everything is going. My mind is still twerking from working and everything like that. And the creative process to write poetry is like unbelievable. You feed off different people's vibes. You know what I mean? So I mean, me as an author and a poet, I always look for the next best thing. You know what I mean? So where can I take my level at? Without even asking myself that question.
right.
I believe when you have God come inside of you, He'll give you a reason of no. You know what I mean? know how to do things and how to process things and elevate yourself to the highest form possible. You know what I mean? So, you know, God is good all the time. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
in 2021's business, you know, and not to sound like a show off or nothing, but it's unbelievable that I came out with all of these books. I mean, like From Me to You Part Two, King's Wave, you know what I mean? Uh King Atterbury Inc., you know, all available on Amazon. You know what I mean? And Best Part of
I
King.
know, I know, I know, I know. Before we went live, you was talking about how like you don't understand how a poet could ever be writer's block. Like Poetic I said last week during the show, like you don't see how that's possible.
Right. I believe sometimes when you have doubt, like when you see a subject matter, it's like, okay, we could say, for instance, uh dedication and dedicated situation. A person would be like, damn, that just sound complex, like dedication situation. So you might want to, me as a thinker and everything, hold on, let's scrap that. How do you feel about dedication? You try to simplify things, but then sometimes a person, like, how do I feel about dedication? It could be anything that you feel dedicated about, but someone might try to overthink, and then maybe that's where they might get stuck at
Mm,
and have complications writing.
yeah.
Me, personally, me and probably other poets think outside the box.
Hmm.
You know, you can formulate that poem any way you want to. There's
Right.
nobody judging. Oh, you didn't talk about this, that, and the other in it. No, you do as you do, heartfelt.
Hmm.
And I think that might be one of the things when I. But I feel like making content and subject matter for the shows allow a person to stretch their pen game. You
Yeah.
know, think outside the box. You know what I mean? And
Right.
take it where you want it to go. You have that creative control. You know.
Now you did gave a perfect segue to the poetry corner. We're actually going into um, almost our third year doing the poetry corner,
Yeah.
and it's amazing. You look at all the shows, and you look at the library, and you be like, wow, we did all these shows. Even myself, I look back at some shows, and I saw different poets that came on the show, and I'm like, where are they at now?
Sound like a TV show.
You
Where are
know,
they now?
yeah, and it's funny because you never realize how many people actually come on, and you know, so saying that, what is going on with the poetry corner, and where is the direction going?
Well, the plans for the poetry corner. Well, you know what? Queen Simmons, you go. Queens before kings.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
so you're welcome. I mean, you know how I do.
Oh, thank you. Well, in my mind, I feel like I have both of you guys to thank for how much I have developed as a artist and how much I've developed as a producer when it comes to what's going on. And I think that right now in the rebranding of the poetry corner, I can thank Q for the idea. Well, Q and King as well. We went through and you started making the mission statement and going back to that and thinking about it, like, the thing that we ended up with is our mission is to provide a safe space for poets of all variety to grow by cultivating burgeoning talent, collaborating with talent throughout the poetry community, and engaging a global audience of poetry lovers. Now, thinking about that sets it broad because, like Q was saying, when you look back over the library and the history of how much you guys have grown and how much how many people like myself who you've inspired to become more than, more vocal and more open about the things that they're writing and become more come home to themselves, so to speak, and to be able to voice the way that they feel and the things that they're saying and have a safe space to come to and to be able to voice their poetry, however, you know, well known they might be or however novice they might be. We can all come together and support and, create a space where everybody feels comfortable coming and growing together. And first time I ever heard it was when Q said it was like, iron sharpens iron. And just thinking about that, it's like that's very true. And I feel like you have sharpened me a great deal in a lot of different ways. And that creating that mission statement is a big part of the way I've been looking at it. Like I would like to be more of a part of cultivating and creating, bringing in more people that I've met in real life and in other poetry sectors, and bringing them to Poetry Corner, and just getting back to that family environment that we had in the past, where we would all come together and there's like a room full of poets and the energy is just wonderful. And you could take a topic that King would come up with that could be a little broad, and you can see all of these different dimensions and perspectives that a person can come at it with. I think that is
True.
so beautiful. And I think that I want to see that grow and, just like reposition it so that we're bringing the talent to the network and bringing their, and what they're capable of can grow from that.
True
King,
indeed.
let me ask you guys, what we're asking poets to come on the show, right?
Hmm.
What is the biggest obstacle with that? What's the, like when you invite people to the show, or you tell them like, yo, you down with coming to the show? What's like one of the biggest obstacles?
One of the biggest obstacles can be where scheduling. That they may have forgot that they have prior engagements, or they may have just forgot. But I reach out to people and I try to explain to them that, look, like you don't have to be scared. You know, when I come up with a subject matter, I write just like everybody else. I mean, I got to think about like that topic, like so I try to engage with them to be comfortable and everything like that. But then sometimes they like, oh well, maybe next time, and then next time turns into next time. And I try to explain to them this is like rebroadcasted on YouTube. Like all your friends and family, they all can see this. And when I, see how you got busy on there, how you express your poetry, amongst the others, poets, poetesses.
Right.
But that's always the seem to be the issue sometimes, prior engagements or is
I'm gonna ask you, Edwina, because like you said, you basically got the courage, or you was inspired from the show. What do you think, like going forward, and what you guys are trying to do? How, like, say if I'm a shy poet and I'm not used to ever being in a virtual show, what would be some of the things that you would do to try to encourage someone if I was like that?
Um, I think that just reaching out to them, and I think that King and I have been talking about a lot of different strategies that we like to use to be more in engage with them before the show. So like, because as King said, things come up, but if we can get a good idea and a running head start and let people know what's going on and like see where people are and like, make it more of a village. Like we don't just speak on the days when there's a show. You're like interacting with them at other times as well, and interacting with them in the Poetry Corner Facebook group, and on Instagram, and supporting the things that they're doing as well, and reaching out. you know I feel like that's the part that I want to grow. I would like to see grow, because the
exactly.
Poetry Corner to me has been, it's like it's my foundation, it's the root of everything that I see growing and
Do y'all
developing in
guys think it
poetry.
could grow? I mean, or
I
could
do.
it stay the same? Like,
Well,
do you have big aspirations, like
well,
far as like with the vision?
my aspiration is, plans for the Poetry Corner to expand to the highest level, like across multiple states with different poets. Don't matter white, black, Chinese, Guyanese. You could be from the seventh sea, but come through. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
test these waters, like before you go in the swimming pool. See if that water is warm. That's why in the beginning I would have ciphers with people, just to like, yo, let me hear something, and we
Right.
say something back and forth.
Right.
But
That definitely helped me. I'll say
so
that.
I'm trying to bring back that. You know what I mean? So if anyone out there listening, contact me, Joel Washington Atterbury, on Facebook, and let's have a conversation. The weather, I mean, the water is warm in the pool. You know what I mean? It's all good. You know what I mean? It don't matter
Right,
if you feel like you're an amateur, novice, whichever, come through. We all family here.
right,
But
right.
I can see we had we had season 8 right now, basically. I've been keeping calculations.
Mhm.
Season 8 since 2020. We've done a lot of shows. So I want to just
Wow.
see grow to the highest high, you know,
Mhm.
and maybe go into something spectacular.
Hmm.
Get picked up on somewhere, something, you know what I
Right.
mean? Greater.
I say. I say.
Well,
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree 100%. I think that this, just looking back at the, it's doing that. We've already touched, you have touched so many lives in so many different places at a time when people really needed a voice. Now it might be a little trickier because people can go outside. you know, it's not like in the middle of a pandemic when it's like this is the main place to be now, and everybody is everywhere. And so you got to really just engage, like you were saying, engage them more. And like you were saying, going back, because I can honestly say when King used to reach out to me and we would just have little one-on-one ciphers, or like we would meet up with, those things really helped me feel like, you know what, I can do this.
Yeah.
And I love
You
that. I
welcome.
love that. And I would love to be able to help someone else do the same thing as what you guys helped me do here.
Facts.
well, I don't know. I don't have much more to ask you guys. I guess Tuesdays 8 o'clock. Um, we'll pick it back up, and any
All right.
final thoughts,
Well,
comment.
actually, I wrote a poem for tonight regarding the show. You know, it's more of a dedication to O Day to Poetry Corner. Um,
Okay.
it's called Poetry Corner. The creation of Poetry Corner was to build, bring a dream to life, and live through our skills. With much time to kill, have a good time with others. Don't matter what level, come through, sisters and brothers. Color doesn't matter, the community is gray. Speak your spoken words, place it all on display. Connect as family, vibe as friends on Tuesdays. Outside of this wave, enjoy tomorrow from today. Love all the people's words, lines, and flow. Once you walk on this boat, can't sink will stay afloat. Hope, faith, and trust kept the years on deaf ears. Some find harder to hear than the fear in the air. Contact King Atterbury on Facebook and Instagram. Get fly, have a spot where you can land and join in our fam. Big shout out to our producer and home. Let's talk. Salute to Big Q for navigating how I walk. And that's peace.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
That was dope. That's a great way to
Well,
close
with
out.
that, we'll close out the show, and like I said, next Tuesday, pick it back up, and we look forward to seeing you guys and new poets, and like King Atterbury said, any poet out there, get in touch with him and let him know you like to be on the poetry corner, and he'll definitely talk to you first,
Yeah.
and then you'll have the opportunity to come on the show. Um, with that, everybody have a blessed week, and as King always says, peace, love, and poetry.
Peace, love, and
Peace, love, and
poetry.
poetry.